So welcome to Northern Powerhouses, our business success stories series of interviews, where we discuss with local business leaders their backgrounds, their successes and challenges, and what's really driving them forwards. And today I'm delighted that we have with us George Fairhall, who's the founder and CEO at WAC. And George, thanks so much for your time today. And if you'd like to introduce yourself and WAC and what you do and how you help people, that would be wonderful.
Of course, thank you so much for having me and asking me to come on. So yeah, I'm the founder and CEO of WAC. I founded the business in 2018, and our mission is to offer financial security for hourly paid workers across the country. So a little bit of a background on why I founded the business. It's always a good start. I was an hourly paid worker myself. I have been since I was 13, working in pubs, chopping up carrots, peeling potatoes, collecting glasses, right up to working in bars, clubs and pubs whilst I was at university. And I found one thing in common at every job, and that was that I was terribly unorganized. I was underpaid a lot and didn't know. And my biggest problem of all was that this way of working had been totally normalized. And I hated it, and I wanted to do something to change how hard it was to be an hourly paid worker on low or minimum wage, working nights, working weekends, and really struggling. So I built WAC, and WAC is an app, a free app that is on the App Store and on GooglePlay, and we help hourly paid workers. It's usually shift workers, we have some freelancers, anyone really working sort of chaotic shift patterns. We help them track their hours, their earnings, their ROTAs, their bills between paydays. We help educate on legal rights, give a place to put all of their paperwork, like their contracts and payslips, and help them understand them. Just really an all-inclusive place to put everything that comes with hourly paid work and offer as much support as possible.
That's absolutely wonderful. I've got two daughters, both doing part-time work in coffee shops and restaurants, so I'm going to be introducing them to the app after this. So thank you so much. And great businesses for me are founded on great vision and purpose, and you know, and how we help people. So clearly that's a big driver for you. But if you look back sort of to your childhood, is this the sort of thing you saw yourself doing, or did you have another career planned?
Yeah, well, I mean, I never had a career plan, that's for sure. I was always an entrepreneur. I never knew it at the time, but I was always selling something or trying to make a deal somewhere, always all throughout school, whether it was sweets, selling cigarettes, doing whatever I could do to make a bit of money. So I look at that now and it makes a lot of sense. I think I just wanted to earn money and have financial security and independence and help my family, because at the time, a lot of my childhood, we didn't have financial security. So I think a lot of it's driven from that, you know, and I look back, and a lot of things I do now make a lot of sense as to why I'm doing it. So I never really planned it, but yeah, it does make sense. So I think it's a well-suited job.
Yeah, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And you know, since you founded WAC, what would you say are some of the biggest issues you've had to overcome as you've grown?
I think the biggest issue I've had is funding. Because I think it doesn't matter really if you're a very early stage business, whether you're at the idea phase, whether you are just earning revenue, or whether your model is quite high risk, high growth, and it's, you know, better suited for you to build traction and trust and a community before introducing a revenue stream. So, you know, we kind of fall into that group, and it's very, very difficult to raise funding. So unless you've got a ton of money in the bank, or a family member that you're lucky enough to, you know, have to give you money to get going, it's really, really hard. And for me, that has been the biggest struggle, to keep going and going and going. And there has been many times that I've thought, you know, should I give up? Where's the line here where it starts impacting your mental health, you know, people around you, my partner, your future? And that really for me has been probably the biggest challenge, which we've overcome. But, you know, we're still very early on in our journey. So it's still probably going to be challenging for years. You know, a lot of businesses, no matter what stage they're at, whether it's series, you know, A, B, C, whatever funding they're at, it's difficult. So yeah, I think because our business is working in that sort of model, that's been hard for me.
So what would you say are some of the keys to resilience for you personally? What are some of the things you do to keep yourself going?
Never stop going on. I think I'm probably really annoying to investors, or I haven't given up. As I said, you have to keep going, and I think it's about having the confidence to do that, because it's sometimes where you've been really knocked down. I think because we know we've got a good business, I know that I've learned a lot and can really drive this business. I think being told that the business is amazing, you're amazing, the social impact is amazing, but then getting a no at the end, that for me, you know, near a year back, even 2 years back, that was a real kick. You know, when you think it's going to be positive, you think you're going to get where you want to get, and then you get no. You start questioning yourself, start questioning the business. And I think it's just about having confidence and just really believing in what you're doing, in what you're trying to achieve, and how passionate you are. And I think that has been the driver for me, you know, to just really get to where I want to get and prove everybody wrong that said no. So
I do find from working with and studying, you know, lots of business people and successful people, it's that ability to be resilient to no's and just keep going. And I think people with a really strong vision and purpose, as clearly you have, you know, you've got a real strong reason to do it, that I guess it allows you to draw some strength from, you know, it's such an important thing that you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. You've just got to push. If that's, you know, if that's where you want to get to and you're passionate about it, I think it's just pushing and just finding people that believe in you and centering yourself, you know, in the middle of having an amazing network, all of that support, and that helps you keep going. But it can be tough, you know. We've had to prove ourselves, which is understandable. You know, investors aren't just going to hand money over, especially if you're a high risk freemium app, consumer based, you know, a huge market. Of course you're going to have to prove yourself, but to prove yourself you need money if you've got none. So that's been the tricky part. Now we've got to the place where we've taken on some funding, proven ourselves, and we've unlocked like each stage. So it's definitely becoming easier. But that early stage, when you don't have the money to even prove yourself, that's really where I think it's quite difficult.
Yeah, it's that sort of in any business, but I can totally get, you know, especially with what you're doing. But there's that sort of establishment and survival phase where it's just really hard slog. Every piece of cost is critical. Every decision feels like it could be the last one, and it's just, but it's getting through that, isn't it? Till we start to see the green shoots, and we can start to really feel that, we're starting to build momentum. So it's great to hear that you hopefully, you know, you've got through to that stage, because it does. I don't know. I don't think it necessarily becomes easier, but it becomes hopefully a little less. You know, day-to-day concerning. You start to see a little bit. I think that a lot of people call it runway, don't they? That there's a bit more gap. So, in general about business, what would you say your biggest learnings about business are from what you've done so far?
I think it's kind of what I said. It is about not giving up. I know that's really cliche, but like it's figuring out your next move and treating everything as a problem. So for me, I didn't sort of think, well, I can't do that. It's like, find a way. So I just kept going. There's a way out there. You're going to do this, and you're going to achieve what you set out to achieve, because you know the problems that are happening, you've seen it, you've experienced it, and you just need to get to the point where you can show the world. And we are there now. And I wake up every morning and the first thing I do is read our reviews on the App Store, and it is amazing, you know, to see that what I felt and the struggles I had, what we've created is solving that for people, and
Brilliant.
you know, changing people's lives. People are, you know, able to claim back money, use WAC to go up against their employers that are really taking advantage of them, that are unintentionally or sometimes intentionally underpaying them. And to make that difference and to see it happening and showing the world now, because it's a problem, you know, that not a lot of people knew existed. You know, if you've not worked within those jobs, or you've not had children or a friend, you know, working these types of jobs, you wouldn't know, you know, that you'd assume surely your employer looks after you, and in a lot of cases they do, you know, and it's down to the management of ever-changing shift patterns, you know, 0-hour contracts with peak periods of business where you're being sent home or your shifts are changed, or you know, whether it's the NHS, retail, hospitality, it all depends on how busy it is. It's always changing, and so it's not always, you know, at fault of the business owner, the employer. It's not a blame game for us. It's about just finding the problems and fixing them, and empowering workers to start feeling in control again, you know, and start feeling like they have security, which they should. So yeah.
I mean, as I say, you know, I have two daughters that do part-time work as alongside the studies, and I'm really shocked to hear that, as you say, whether it's intentional or unintentional, that large organisations, you know, can get it wrong. So that's hit home. As I say, I'll be getting them on the app by the end of the week, I think, and we go from there. I think you're aware, but we're a business coaching organisation. I'm keen to know who the best coaches you've worked with, whether that's business, sport, or life in general.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with so many amazing people throughout the last 3-4 years. I've been so lucky. I've pushed and pushed to expand my network and, you know, try and reach the people I look up to. So I've had the chance to speak to some amazing people. So it's really difficult for anyone that's kind of within the business now. So my advisors that I have, I've got an amazing chairman. Some of my investors, you know, haven't just financially supported me. Some investors have been life-changing to our business, and you know, what I'm learning and how we're growing is, you know, really down to those conversations. So without picking one of those, there is one person that has always inspired me since I've moved to Leeds, and she is someone I can look up to, who is much further in business than us, but has gone through many things that I've gone through as a woman in tech, as a woman founder, as a woman raising money, experienced some, you know, not great things that I've experienced. And yeah, and just an amazing, inspirational woman that wants to make a change. And that is a lady called Zandra Moore, who has a business called Pan Intelligence. And I look up to her every day. So she might not know it, but if she hears this, I honestly trust and just learn so much, that would be the person that I looked up to as a coach for this podcast. Yeah.
Wonderful. Yes, we interviewed Sandra last month, I think.
Oh, did you?
Absolutely, and very, very inspirational. Very inspirational what she's doing and achieving. But you know, again, I would suggest that one of the traits that I see in you both is that single-minded, you know, clarity and surety of it, getting it done. And you know, no, absolutely amazing. And we talked quite a lot about resilience so far, but alongside that, what else would you say you've learned about yourself through your journey?
So I guess I've learned how much of a passionate person I am. You know, I didn't really know what direction I wanted to take in life. And obviously the background I discussed, you know, always selling and doing whatever I needed to do to, you know, get whatever I wanted to get. I don't know. And it all makes sense now. It's all fit into place. So when I nearly didn't make it through school, I very, very I just got GCSEs to get to college. I just got through college. Had never, ever, ever thought I was going to make it to university. Got to university somehow, and I was going to choose fine art or law, which are two very, very different things.
Yes.
Fine art was something I loved because I'm super creative. I just think it's very free. It's fun, and I loved that in my life at that time. But law, I had good memory, and it was good money, and it was a great achievement. And I was like, what one do I go for? I went for law, and now I kind of look back and I think, do you know what? I have used my experience in hospitality and retail and hourly paid jobs. I've used everything I've learned in law, rights, you know, individual rights, employee rights, following the law, making things right, and you know, protecting people. And then I drew out the app at like screen by screen of what I wanted it to look like. And I took that stack of drawings to a development company, and we got it designed, and then we got it developed, and what it's become is my little masterpiece, you know. And all of those things in life have come together, and actually it makes a lot of sense that I am in tech. I am helping people, you know, and making things right and making a difference, and I've got my creative side in there, and it's all come together. So I've learned a lot about who I am and why I am in the place I'm at, and how passionate I am about making a difference and helping people and putting a mark on the world, you know, as little George.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And so looking forward, what does the future look like for you guys? You've obviously got quite a journey ahead of you, and what do you see as the main challenges, if any?
Yeah, I see WAC as kind of the go-to support for hourly paid workers. So although we're offering a tool, an app, you know, to help people on an everyday basis with their life, you know, whilst working hourly paid jobs, and, you know, helping dispute pay in some situations, there's not much support out there beyond that. I was underpaid a lot when I was working in jobs. I literally did a shift. Well, I have got loads of stories, but one of the ones I always remember was, you know, the people in like Asda and Tesco's that work on the aisles, like giving the samples. I did that, and for a weekend, I think, and I was giving out cider samples, and it was freezing cold because I was near the freezers, and it was like the worst job ever. And I did it for 2 days, and I think I was paid like £250 or something for 2 long days, and I never got it. I never ever got it, and I was never paid it. And the agency I was working for made up loads of different excuses. I was, you know, a student at uni. I was like trying to get, you know, my weekly shop, and I couldn't fight it. I was emailing, and I didn't know what to do. And I had a friend that did it with me as well. She wasn't paid. And the first thing I thought, who do I call? Citizen Advice. You know, you speak to Citizen Advice and they say, sorry about that. You know, have you sent them an email? Have you done this? Had done everything. And really the only thing you could do next is take them to court. But obviously, little minimum wage worker me was not going to have the money to find a lawyer to take them to court and to fight £250. And that's what's happening a lot, where there just isn't the regulations in place, and people are being taken advantage of. And I just want us at WAC, I want WAC to be a go-to support network beyond the app itself, and kind of come alongside your ACAS and citizen advice and
Brilliant.
actually start making a difference, and changing what is viewed as normal, kind of, you know, beyond the app itself. So that's what I hope. And then I want to do it all again in all the other countries that we've got downloads in, which is about 36 right now. So
wow, absolutely amazing. And it's just great. You can see you've got the vision way past what's in front of you right now. So it's not just about the app and WAC, it's the bigger picture of how you're going to help people. So well, look, it'd be definitely great to swing by in 6-12 months and just see what the development's like, if that makes sense to you. I'd love to know more about how things are progressing.
Yeah, I'd love to. It goes so quick, you know. Especially now with what's happening in the world, and with, you know, the government working really hard on getting people back to work, which is really good. But a lot of those jobs tend to be hourly paid jobs, the more flexible work. And it's not all about being underpaid, you know. We're not just saying you're getting underpaid, you need to check. It's not about that. It's about working what can be a very chaotic lifestyle when you're on different shifts, get paid different amounts each week, each month, trying to follow your bills, trying to look after your family, trying to make plans, try and get on holiday once in 3 years or whatever you can afford. So it's actually just about organizing all of that, and just a little bit more support and protection. So yeah, that's what we want to do. That's what we're trying to do on the everyday, but hopefully we can get it out across the UK and then hopefully worldwide.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I'm keen to know, Georgia, what you would say to anyone that was thinking of going to business right now.
They'd be mental. No, I'm joking. I would say absolutely go for it, because if you saw me and what I was like when I was younger, and you know where I'm from, it was, I didn't even think it was possible, you know. No one, not that anyone didn't think I could achieve it around me, but it's just not something you dreamt up, you know. And I am somehow here. I mean, I'm still early and I've still got a long way to go, but you can do it. And I really want people to know, if you don't know how to take that first step, there is support out there for you. And you can learn. I've learned on the job, you know. I didn't know anything. I had no idea. I had a £5,000 wedding fund that I didn't know about, that my mum and dad had. And they said, oh, do you want that instead? And I was like, husband, business, don't know. I mean, I'm still with the same guy now, so he's stuck by me, which is amazing. But I went for it, and I gave up my law career. I was literally at law school at the time. I gave up my full-time job because I used to do law school at the weekends. And I did it with that £5,000. And I had no idea. I honestly had no idea. I had to go, you know, and I got told nonstop, you won't be able to do this. You're not from a technical background. You need a technical co-founder. You need to learn this, you need to learn that, you need this money, you should go to the employers first. You know, I got told it wouldn't work. And I just kept going like 100 miles an hour. And you can do it, you know. If you really want something, you can get there. And I learn, and you can learn, you know. I'm dyslexic, I'm dyspraxic. I wasn't meant to be here, but that's according to who, you know? Absolutely. So go for it and do it. I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it. Brilliant.
That's just great. And if you were starting again, looking back, is there anything you'd do differently, do you think?
Not a thing, no. There's a lot of things that have happened, you know. There's different challenges, there's different things I've learned, but I wouldn't be the business owner I am today. I wouldn't have learned the things I've learned. So I'm almost, you know, like, throw it at me now, let me learn now, and then I can just work on just growing and thriving in the future. Not that I'm probably out the way of any challenges, but yeah, I wouldn't change it. It's got me here, and
Absolutely wonderful. And finally, what would be the best advice you could give an 18-year-old you if you could go back in time and do so?
An 18-year-old me, oh my gosh, just keep doing what you're doing. I'd say have confidence in yourself, because I second guessed myself a lot. I was diagnosed with dyslexia at university, and that was because I sat in some of my seminars and was, like, learning, and everyone around me was understanding and I wasn't, to the point where my tutor picked up on it and said, like, maybe, we could look at why you're struggling. And from then, that was my first year of university. I think that saved me at university. And I don't think I would have, I would have probably managed somehow, because I would have found a way. Yes. I always do. Yes. But I wouldn't be here probably in this place with this confidence and doing what I'm doing if I didn't have that diagnosis. So I think that knocked my confidence quite a lot, because I didn't understand why I thought differently, or why, I couldn't figure stuff out. And I never thought I could do what I've done. So I'd have been like, you can do it. Basically what I would tell an 18-year-old, anyone.
Yes.
What I just said, to just go and do it, and you can do it. So
brilliant. Well, it's been very, very interesting, very inspiring, and as I say, it'd be great to swing by in a little, 6-12 months, to just see what's going on and what the next stages are, and which countries you've moved into as well, George. And just for anyone watching, if they'd like to get in touch with you or WAC and learn a bit more, what would be the best way to do that?
Yeah, definitely on LinkedIn, I'd say. I'm on LinkedIn as Georgina Fairhall. So yeah, just reach out. We are going to start funding in a couple of months, our seed raise. It's a super exciting time for us as a business. We're scaling up now, really. We've, as I said, hit multiple countries by organic growth, and we're at just over 200,000 installs across the UK. Brilliant. So yeah, it's a really exciting time for us. So from a business perspective, LinkedIn, or even from a personal perspective, and you're looking to start a business and you've got an idea, or I'm always so willing to help, because it is difficult and it's really hard to know what that next step is. And if I can ever help someone take that next step, I'm always like super willing to. So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again so much. And as I say, let's catch up again in 6-12 months' time.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.